there's gonna be the first transgender to compete in the Olympics, right? And this is it's a very touchy subject, right? Because even though we do have a large movement of accepting others, regardless of how they feel, right? Or how they feel about their bodies, there's also a pushback because it gets into the realm of, is this biologically fair for the other people that are competing, right? And in this specific case, there's gonna be a weightlifting competition, right? And one of the participants is from New Zealand, and it's a transgender woman, meaning they were born a man and then they I was gonna say transferred. They they transition right into a woman, and now they're gonna compete in weightlifting. And this example is actually very it lets you see the contrast a lot, because if it was chess, right, you shouldn't even have a discussion of whether male and women can play each other at chess. I mean, this is a game of brains, so I don't see why you wouldn't want that to happen, you know? Like, obviously, men and women, when it comes to being smart, why would there be a difference, right? There might be differences in the things that they choose to do with their lives and professions that they do, but smartness, well, you have people that have high IQ on both ends. And so, but when it comes to weightlifting, well, you could definitely see there, at least, I mean, this is my opinion, a strong opinion, and I think more than an opinion, this should be seen as a fact, because, there's fucking evidence for this. When it comes to weightlifting or anything that has to do with body movement, and execution of things with your body, well, yeah, there's strong evidence that tells us that if you were born a male, regardless of where, if you transition later, you're gonna have advantages, right? You're gonna have a larger bone density, you're gonna have more testosterone. I don't know the specific of the chemical process that goes behind the scenes, but I mean, it's not going to be the case that it's going to be a fair fight if you do that. And I want to be clear, like, I don't want to sound like I'm being mean to the other side. I mean, if you listen to me rationally, you'd understand that I'm super supportive of however you want to feel about yourself. When I'm playing Warcraft, I'm fucking that person, right? I turn... So I don't mind, like, and I'm not trying to use this as like a way to downplay what they have. It's just that when it comes to the sports scenario, we gotta be a bit objective about this. I mean, you cannot tell me that someone that was born a man and is now going to compete with women. That's not only not fair to the women, but it's also not fair to the people watching. Like, how is that even a competition? You know what I mean? This happened in UFC, and if I'm not mistaken, the transgender woman that used to be a guy, broke the orbital bone of the other person. I mean, and let me make this clear. There are instances where there's women that could be even stronger than men. Dude, I remember when I was in high school, I played for the water polo team, right? Contrary to popular belief, I used to play sports and I had some fitness in me. I used to play water polo, and there was this girl in the team that was a fucking beast. This girl not only was the best of the girls, she was the best of the guys. She was the best in the school. When we used to play other guys, she would join the guys' team and play with us, and she was a fucking beast, bro. She would intimidate you, would pee your fucking... not pants, but your swimsuit, because you're in the pool. When this girl was gonna come with the ball, man, you would get scared. But those, in general, if you put a guy and a girl of the same weight and shit, the guy's gonna have certain things biologically that make them stronger, and it's gonna, I think the reflexes are different. There's a lot of differences, man. I'm not a fucking scientist, but I just can't believe that we're in a situation where we cannot even debate this and not be looked at as a fucking, transphobe or, whatever the words are. So I want to know your opinions, though. Not only on if you think someone that was born a male should compete with women in sports, not only the Olympics, but in sports. I want to know your opinion on that. Skateboarding, rock climbing. What do you think about these new additions to the Olympics? I think this shit's gonna be fucking amazing, I think this is gonna bring more interest to the Olympics, because nobody gives a fuck about the Olympics right now. Who the fuck watches fencing? Nobody watches fencing, and I'm sorry to the fencers. I myself, I want to become a little, because in the case some shit happens, I want to know how to use a sword. But dude, it's not fucking interesting. Maybe take off the mask and poke somebody in the eye. Get creative with this shit. But let me know what the fuck you think. Let me know what you think of gaming. Is gaming destroying kids? Is a waste of time? Or do you think there's some value in gaming? Do you think there's some intellectual gains to be obtained from the electronic gaming sphere?